InfoWars.com, that they do have total evacuation on standby. And I talked to another emergency manager over the border a few years ago, and I called him again last night. They have confirmed that they've been told, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, to be ready for 1 million to be buried right across the border in their county alone in Indiana. And, of course, that original interview is 2 years old, but they've been told to prepare for it again. So I think they just do this every time to test a takeover, but they could bootleg a false flag. What do you think?
Well, I'm almost sure something's going to happen. I'm almost positive something's going to happen. You don't sell 400 million rounds of 40 caliber hollow points, 250 million rounds of 223s, and not expect something to happen. It just doesn't happen that way. And I know for a fact most of the officers that I work with, you send in Russian troops or blue helmets, God help them. God help them.
Well, they may just try it. I mean, whoever thought they'd say they're going to ban kids doing chores on farms? Whoever thought Obama would launch wars and tell Congress to take a hike? I mean, this is really scary. This is a real attempted takeover of the country.
Why is that man being impeached? He's
well, because, listen, they think they've got at least half the public totally brain dead watching TV. That's why this is all happening. And it
does go to hell in a handbasket. The people that have prepared will make it through it. And I pray to God that it doesn't happen. But I also pray to God that if it does happen, do it now while I'm young enough to help rebuild. I also pray to God that if it does happen, that we can get our country back the way it's supposed to be.
Amen to that. What are the other officers around you saying? Are they starting to realize all is not well?
Well, it's about 50-50, and then you got the other ones laughing at you, which is all right. I don't care.
It's very sad. They're like children. It's like the general public. Yeah, that's the sad thing. Most of these people are not evil. They just are like children. The general public is like children. They have no idea, and everything's a big joke. Can you tell us the power plant? Because nobody can figure out who you are just because of that. I mean, can you tell us which power plant it is so we can call them?
No, I can't, because they'll figure out who I talk to.
I understand. Well, you know better than we do. Thank you.
Let me put it to you. It's in central Illinois, approximately 90 miles southwest of Chicago.
Okay, nuclear power plant, southwest of Chicago. How many miles southwest?
Approximately 90.
90 miles southwest of Chicago. Guys, get on that right now. Thank you so much, sir. We'll be right back. I've seen the longevity products work. When I hear these phone calls of a older man, old man, 61 years old, on a cane, a veteran, not in good health, at the VA, and he's trying to hand out Bible tracts in some of my films, and the police come and threaten him and say, we'll take your benefits, Homeland Security will raid you. That is pure Stalin, Soviet Union. Now, why do you, and I see this everywhere now, either police say, please give us more, and they're awake, or it's always feds that are like this, or it's we'll arrest you for that. And I've seen this for years. And the weird thing is when somebody gets scared by them, they get into it even more. And it really gets me angry. And then you have but then you have that horrible story, then you have another police officer calling in who says he's worried there might be a false flag in Chicago. And there's a lot of evidence of that, but by us exposing this, they may not be able to do it. Remember that Larry Silverstein bought the Sears Tower. They've now changed the name. Same guy that bought the World Trade Centers a month before, or got it for like 100 and something mil and made $8 billion off of it or whatever. You got double insurance on it. All of this needs to be looked into. And certainly you've got all these official memos that the White House has put out, that their advisors have put out, saying it'd be great if we had a terror attack. That'd make you look like a hero. They think we're so stupid. The Democratic Party has these memos out. And Ron Paul said last night his greatest concern, because we're starting to wake people up, is a false flag. We played that clip last hour. This is the news we're talking about. This is the issues. This is real. This is real. They announced last week, war on terror is over with Al-Qaeda. TSA is going to be everywhere they tell us you're the terrorist. No more Al-Qaeda, it's you. And we're going to search you. It's crazy. And they'll always have excuses. Oh, we caught a prostitute, or we caught some marijuana. Whatever. The greater danger is a government randomly searching people. Why are they doing this? Folks, you need to get these DVDs at InfoWars.com. You've heard how the system doesn't want you to be aware of this. You've heard how the system is afraid of the population. The Toronto hearings on 9/11, uncovering 10 years of deception. That's new and available at Infowars.com. Farmageddon, the unseen war on American family farms. Incredible film, going over 10 to 21. Anna Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995. Now, you're going to be with us till the end of the hour, because I'm getting you on a little bit late here. She is a doctor of chemistry, and she's a great activist helping to fight to get poisonous fluoride and other chemicals out of our water. And she's running for city council and getting some momentum. I see her signs up all over town. Laura Pressley, who's been a guest on the Nightly News a few times, and she's with Fluoride-Free Austin, running for city council. Others can do this in your area around the country. But we're going to break in a moment. When we come back, what are you going to be covering? Why are you running for city council? And we'll also get into the good news that UT is going to provide fluoride-free water fountains.
Yes. Hi, Alex. Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
You bet. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm running for the Austin City Council, and I got really mad. Fluoride was one of the big issues that got me really, really furious about the city council wouldn't put a warning on water bills for children. And if you just look even now, New Hampshire has mandated, the state of New Hampshire's mandated warnings on fluoridated water bills for infants. And so we asked the city council to do this. They didn't do it. I've also spoken out against the TSA scanners, and I got really mad, so I decided to do something about it. I listened to you, decided to do something about it, and run for city council.
Well, you're a smart, sharp lady. You might get in there if the electronic voting machines don't stop you. But regardless, you're going to really have a bully pulpit now when they laugh at you and laugh at other doctors and chemists and professors you bring in. But as you pointed out, UT admits, oh, yeah, the government says lower the amount of fluoride, that it's poisonous to kids. The American Medical Association says stop giving it to little kids. But the city council's still laughing at people.
Yeah, there's the good reason people do things and the real reason. And I think the real reason that they do not get fluoride out is they are, follow the money. They're very concerned about some grants that they get from the Centers for Disease Control. They give Austin City Council about $7 million worth of grants, and I think they are really worried about losing that money if they get fluoride out. There's several council members that know the truth, they know what's going on, and they still won't take action. So I'm here to provide that leadership and stick my neck out and make this happen.
Well, good, because the feds take our money, send 30-something cents back, and then try to tell us that we've got to have fluoride because they love us so much. When we come back, though, because you're a chemist, break down what's really in the so-called fluoride and what's going on with it and all the new information coming out and what happened with the UT. And then we need to talk about how people get behind your candidacy. But as we go to break, what's the website for people to contact you at?
So our website is PressleyForAustin.com, PressleyForAustin.com.
So one more time for people.
PressleyForAustin.com.
We've got it on screen for Prisonplanet.tv viewers. Folks, get behind her, get her in office. But regardless, she's going to be in there at all those debates, hell-bent on getting this poison out of our water. Stay with us.
We're on the mark.
Soon-to-be councilwoman here in Austin, Texas, Laura Pressley. She's a doctor of chemistry. And tell us how you woke up to fluoride, and let's go through all the big developments, because you keep your nose to the grindstone studying the fight, and we're starting to really win here, so our offensive is winning. And then we'll get into your campaign that can be a model for other areas of the country and the world. You've got the floor.
Thanks, Alex. So with regard to fluoride, I was on thyroid medication for about 8 years, and my symptoms kept going up and down, and I really couldn't, my symptoms really weren't stable. So I got really frustrated with taking medication. So I did a lot of research on, what is causing my thyroid issues, because I didn't have any genetic predispositions. No family members had any fluoride or thyroid issues. So I did a lot of research, and lo and behold, found out through you and a lot of other Dr. McCullough and also Mike Adams how bad fluoride is for your thyroid. Your thyroid wants iodine. We give it fluoride instead, so it uptakes that and it doesn't work correctly. It seems very, very simple. And if you look at the periodic table, fluoride and iodine are in the same column, and so that means their electronic structure is very similar. So what your thyroid does, it uptakes the fluoride instead of the iodine, because that's what you're giving it majority in your diet. The water and the tea and soups and rice, when we cook all that, the fluoride stays in those foods.
And you're a chemist, so all that made sense.
All of it made very sense, incredible sense to me. So I looked at the data and went, oh, this is what's going on with me. So I stopped ingesting fluoride. I stopped completely drinking any water or any fluids with fluoride in it. Foods, I stopped drinking tea, and I only drank purified water that had no fluoride in it. 6 months, my symptoms were gone. I'd been on medication for 8 years, and within 6 months, all of my symptoms were gone. My allergies were improved. My migraines were improved. I was on thyroid medicine, allergy medicine, migraine medication. I'm completely off of that. I'm 50 years old and I'm on no drugs.
You're 50? You don't look 50.
I'm 50 years old and on no medications. Isn't that wonderful? I used to, 1 year I remember is about 8 years ago, I maxed out my major medical for health issues. When we drink really pure water, we worry about organic food, but where's our organic water?
But they know. I mean, as you know, I've had the medical doctors on and brain surgeons. It doesn't just hit your thyroid. It's hitting all your organs. Also, it magnifies, as you know, all the other drugs and toxins. It's a adjuvant, basically.
Yes, and even your intestines. Fluoride is a disinfectant. So you kill all the good bacteria and all the good flora that's in your stomach to help you digest and process these nutrients of foods, and we're missing that also. So when you take fluoride out of your diet, you will see a huge improvement in your health. When's the last time people went to the doctor and they said, I have thyroid issues, I have migraine issues, I have swelling issues, and the doctor says, stop drinking the tap water and then come back to me in a month and I'll tell you whether you need a drug or not.
And then it's not just the tap water.
Does that.
They spray it on the crops, which last year,
it's a pesticide.
Last year, finally, under pressure, the FDA had to admit, oh my gosh, stop using this, phase it out, but not quick enough because it bioaccumulates. And then, it just goes on, and it's in products. We are just inundated with it.
We are inundated with it. And if we take it out of our diet, our bodies work the way they're supposed to. So that was a huge revelation to me. And I got recruited by Fluoride-Free Austin because of my chemistry background and my health improvement experiences. And I wanted to bring that knowledge to the city council. So here I am presenting this data, chemical data, to the city council. And I think, a couple weeks we'll present the data. I'll be back at work. They'll make the right decision. 2 years later, they're still not doing it. And it just got me furious. And we even backed up. We said, let's back up. Let's put a warning on the water bill for infants. And we said, you know what, that's a slam dunk. The city council should do that pretty easily. We got really good feedback from my opponent who I'm running against in the city council race. And he gave us, very high confidence as, yes, we'll get this warning on the water bill. And it didn't happen. And I got really furious. And while I'm sitting there testifying to the city council on all these issues, these health issues, I see other groups coming up, presenting information to them, property rights issues, on, and they still wouldn't make the right decision. So I said, I need to run and make a difference because I've had it.
We're going to talk about that. Now, other people should run. Bare minimum, you win by running just to educate people. But expanding on this, tell folks, because I've read, depending on what so-called fluoride the city's buying, there could be hundreds of things. It's just raw waste. And even the top dentist in Canada, he's been out in the news in the last few years. We even interviewed him once, saying, a decade ago, got Canada fluoridated because I thought it was just a little sodium fluoride. This is toxic waste. Explain what they're putting in the water.
So what they're putting is a commercial grade hydrofluorosilicic acid. And it's a very strong chemical. Fluoride is, and if you look at the material safety data sheet for this, it's H2SiF6 is what it is. And they even warn that, ingesting this can cause a lot of health issues. So they're putting this in our water. It's not pharmaceutical grade. It is commercial grade. It's a byproduct of the fertilizer industry. And, my big issue is I wouldn't want even commercial grade sodium fluoride in my water because there's no dosage control. It's a medicine. You can't go to a pharmacy and purchase it. You can only get it with a prescription.
And they now admit it's causing the teeth to get fluorosis. And even the American Dental Association says don't give it to kids under 5.
Yes, absolutely. So, there's no dose control. It's not pharmaceutical grade. I don't want it in my water, and a lot of people don't. LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, last summer came out with a resolution that said, stop medicating our population. You're doing it because of low-income families. Well, you know what? The Hispanic and Latino community are saying, thanks, but no thanks. We got it. Our people are subject to diabetes, kidney disease, and these are health issues that are really aggravated with fluoride in the water. And we say no. We said, let people make their own decision. Don't make it where I can't have a choice.
We're putting bizarre